Hello everybody, it's Connor. We're back here with another video. Make sure you're slapping a like on the video, doing all the good stuff. Make sure you're checking out football prizes, link in the description below. Back 4 as well. Merchandise is out, available right now, everybody. Exclusive posts on oneleeds.com/Patreon as well. Make sure you're checking out all that good stuff, everybody. We're going to be doing an exclusive drop on the Patreon for Al Tanaka, Joseph, One Leeds merch. Check that out. Have to let you know before we get going here. So, Daniel Farke has had his press conference. Some injury news coming out of it, which isn't great, but we've got some good news in there as well, everybody. Ethan Ampadu is back on the grass, baby. Fantastic to hear. And what was interesting, actually, about it was Daniel Farke's whole demeanour around Ethan Ampadu. He was talking about him being such an important player, the captain of the side, and exactly where he fits in this Leeds United side. He wants him back as soon as possible, really, as, look, we all do, of course, it's extra artillery, but that midfield pattern is pretty good at this moment in time. You've got Joe Rothwell creating 26 chances so far this season already. Both him and Tanaka in the 85s and 90s when it comes to cross ball accuracy, just general passing accuracy, long ball passing accuracy. You've got Rothwell with the successful dribbles in the green. The midfield synergy, the balance between them both is absolutely fantastic. And the trajectory of both, I don't know, we could maybe even see a Joe Rothwell Tanaka partnership in the Premier League. Who knows at points, you know? And that's how high I think their level is. The numbers back it up. We're going to release a video tomorrow on the numbers, everybody, and it's really good to see. But Ethan Ampadu coming back right now is more of the leadership, isn't it? It's more of the experience at such a young age as well, and being a part of what was a failed promotion bid last year, taking that into this season, harnessing that and getting promotion with Leeds United. Now, I just mentioned a Premier League approach there, everybody, for maybe Joe Rothwell and Tanaka. You know, there is a possibility there at some point. That doesn't mean Ethan steps out, by the way, long term if we were to sign Joe Rothwell and keep hold of Tanaka with all these eventualities. But the options when you have these three at your disposal is Premier League level, in my opinion, and that includes Joe Rothwell with what he's done with Leeds United so far this season. So what else was he saying? You know, he was mentioning about Ethan Ampadu and that level forward and having someone back so important. And Farke's bang on, as I've just mentioned, you know, what he can bring to this Leeds United side from just from the sidelines and probably watching as well. Ethan Ampadu, he's got a good brain on him, and I wonder if he's thinking that he can come back into this side and offer something a little bit different, of which maybe we need that at points. If Ferber is to leave in January, he also brings something else when it comes to that defensive prospect, that centre-back fill-in, if Leeds desperately need it, which I'm hoping we don't, if Ferber is to move to Salzburg or Mönchengladbach, of which we've got to wait and see on that one. But what would you guys do? Would Ethan Ampadu slot back in for you? Would he come back into that Leeds United side? Would he displace probably Joe Rothwell? Or do you think the dynamism of Rothwell has really added to Leeds United's midfield balance in there? Because Tanaka and Ampadu, different players, but quite similar in the fact that they want to achieve, you know, get the ball off the centre-back, split the centre-backs and move from that standpoint. Interesting to get into there. Okay, so the next bit of news as well is Junior Firpo. Now, what did Leeds miss out from the previous game at Blackburn? Leeds obviously had massive injuries going into that game. You know, you had Sam Byram, Schmidt, Ethan Ampadu and Gruev. You know, as we know, look, these are our long-term absentees as well out for that game. So the options are naturally a little bit narrow when you look at that. But going into this game at the weekend, apparently there's a bit of a foot injury for Junior Firpo, which is a little bit of a, man. He's had Wood game back and he's injured. I'm just hoping with Junior that we can get this consistency from him, because obviously we've had the games out of which we were a little bit like, right, okay, then obviously Byram came in, did a decent job, to be fair to him, and now we've got this as well. So it's sort of that inconsistency of which at the start of the season with Firpo just wasn't a problem. He was very, very consistently part of these Leeds United games and offering a superb option on that left-hand side when it comes to underlaps, overlaps, and a real threat from the assist capacity. I feel Junior Firpo has been a real goal threat. So him being out of this one, apparently he's not trained today, which is a little bit upsetting, but we do welcome back Isaac Schmidt for this one. And we do obviously have Max Ferber, and it blows up the question again of how many other teams have this depth. Is it as effective depth as Junior Firpo? Absolutely not. Nowhere near. I think Junior Firpo is the best option for Leeds United on that left-hand side, that left wing-back position, of which he's not only a defensive attribute, but he's an attacking attribute as well. However, Schmidt, this is the chance for him, and I'm really hoping that Daniel Farke goes with him for this one. Like, I know he can utilise maybe Max Ferber in there, and Ferber came on and did a good job against Luton. I thought, but I think you've got to look at long term here. If you're Daniel Farke, you've got to look at what was the point in bringing Schmidt in? Was that a 49ers signing, of which Farke's not convinced with? Was it a Daniel Farke signing, of which I feel if it was a Farke signing, which we know Solomon was, I feel like he'd be getting closer to that first team. But when Firpo's been out before, when Bogle's been out before, Schmidt's not been getting close. He's just been on the bench and Byram's got ahead. So where does this leave Isaac Schmidt? Because you feel it's a shoo-in, an absolute shoo-in. Derby at home should be an easy game for Leeds on paper, should be. The expectation standard is up there for this game. Goal to nil for Leeds United if we can do it. And we're expecting to win this game and potentially go back top of the table, or at least within the top two, if Sheffield United are to falter against West Bromwich Albion. So it's a big conversation right now. I think Schmidt offers you width. I think he offers you quality. I think there's a balance with both feet there as well. I don't really understand the point in bringing him in if you are to start Max Verber. Even though I liked what Max offered against Luton Town, I don't see the point in doing it. What is the point? Because there's no long-term strategy there. I think Matteo Joseph in particular, I'm wearing the top now, and I'm gonna release a video on this tomorrow in terms of Leeds' attacking options and where we're so heavily stacked, and it's a real almost plethora of Daniel Farke to be able to go, I'll have him or him or him, and how it works, and we're going to be getting into that tomorrow. But with someone like Isaac Schmidt, there's a long-term plan there. He's 24 years of age. Put him in at left back. Don't start Max Verber, who the likelihood is, if you're to read reports and believe reports, Salzburg are keen on him. Mönchengladbach are keen on him. I get that he'd be in the shop window. I understand that for Leeds United, and they need to almost put him on that, on that stage to get the higher value for him. But you've also got to look at the needs of Leeds United. You've got to look at us. And if you're starting Schmidt, he might be able to get himself into a real good vein of form. He might even keep someone like Junior Firpo out. That might happen. Let's be honest here. Isaac Schmidt is a Leeds United player for the next, 3 years? Is his contract? Junior Firpo's been excellent for Leeds, but he's not signed a contract yet. And we know if Leeds don't get to the Premier League, Firpo is going to be off ski. So Isaac Schmidt right now, seemingly, is Leeds United's future. If we're not to do anything else at left back, which I do think we will do something else at left back at a stage, but Isaac Schmidt right now is the long-term option. It's not Max Verber. Right now, it's not even Junior Firpo, because obviously he's not signed that contract. So Isaac Schmidt, come what may, is Leeds United's option at left back. So why not stick with that? Why not invest in that in terms of minutes? And why not just utilise that rotation framework? And I think that is what he needs to do in this game. I think starting Max Verber, I think against Derby you can afford to start an Isaac Schmidt, and I don't think you lose a lot. I think you'd probably gain more in seeing what at least Schmidt is about. So that is what I will. That is what I would do. Let me know what you would do in the comment section below. But Ampadu being in the final stages of his 10-week injury layoff is absolutely massive. I think it's a real big thing. Obviously, we know Grev's going to be a long-term absentee for Leeds United, but obviously another little bit of news. Everybody, Sam Byram been out. He's definitely going to miss the game. There's some hope apparently he could be joining Leeds United next week, but he's going to miss out. But Schmidt being back is absolutely massive, I think. And obviously he's been able to come into the Leeds game. He got an assist in my book anyway. And he was decent. Leeds are a little bit short at left back, but we've got options. And this is the thing. If you have two left backs out in terms of Sam Byram and Junior Firpo, what other team in this division has Max Verber and Isaac Schmidt to come in? And you kind of have a double pivot there, a double position there. Now, does any other team have that? No, they really don't. You don't have real four options and a fifth option if you want to put Pascal Struijk at left back as well, players who've played left back before. So Daniel Farke has a lot of at his disposal. It just shows the significance of having depth in the squad and quality with depth as well. I'm not too worried about Firpo being out for this one. I'm not too worried about Byron being out for this one. I was happy with what I saw with Isaac Schmidt. And worst comes to it, I think, if Max Verper's to fill in at left back, he's done it for Austria, he's done it for Borussia Mönchengladbach. I'm absolutely fine with that against Derby County at the weekend. Guys, we're going to have more of your preview out later on. I'm currently editing a video right now on Leeds United's attacking options. I'll just show you a little bit of it. There we go. If you can see it. That's what all this YouTube stuff's about. So I'm getting some content over to you guys very, very shortly. This will be released on the Patreon today if you fancy going on over and just helping me out. All the contributions go to the channel. I really appreciate that. But as I say, guys, make sure you check out Football Prizes. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We'll get all your Derby previews out tomorrow. Head on over to the Patreon for a bit of bonus content as well. Stick around this tonight from 8 p.m. We're going to have the first ever episode of Battle Lines. Make sure you check it out, everybody. We'll be live and direct at that time. See you in a bit.